Now, if somebody tell me they breakaway intelligence, I'd be looking for something like that. Because they can't tell me they don't operate and don't know that format. What is that format? This is how everybody gets fucked. Intentions, Coakley wants to fuck us up and knock us out. If he ever got powerful and had money, he'd murder us. Threat, he got 20 people in Baltimore. Capability, 0. Well, no, it's a fake out now. I'm doing my own intelligence now. I'm throwing my own bones. That's countering the intelligence program. We'll talk about that because I'm a master of that. I take people on the road with me now, and I have them standing at the table. It was just in Atlanta, right? Standing room only, run up to the table. I said, now take these 2 brothers. They'll be up here a little later. I said, now let's count the number of people. I even took Charles on some trips with me. Count the number of people who ask me where I'm going next. So we get to the lecture 2 hours early. 3 brothers are standing outside. They carry my stuff in. As soon as I throw the stuff down, I say, Brother Coakley, where is it you going when you leave here? So I turned to my man and said, write that down. That's 1. We stood there at the table 18 times before the lecture started. People asked me, where was I going when I left there? Now, I said, and I'd asked them first, do you mean when is my next lecture here? They said, no. Where are you going after here? I said, well, let me ask you, you going there? Need to know basis. I said, give me your name and number. Oh, I don't want to do that. I said, sit your ass on down then. I'm on the catch the spy program, shit. And I know as a magnet, I make shit stick. Shit comes up to me. If you're in a proactive program, you will make the intelligence community come out. Right. I was listening to Tyrone Powers on the way up here on for an hour. He only mentioned the program. On last week, only mentioned his program. At least when Donald was only mentioned both of them. Our side want to hear the other side heard too. In fact, we should all be able to hear each other. And as adults, you discern what is of value. Nah, late in the game, the enemies fuck. They believe they need blind loyalty. That's why I stand alone as the perpetrator against the oath takers. The Masons, the Greeks, the police, the lawyers, the judges, the doctors who swore to something other than the black. You don't need to be in military intelligence if you're going to take an oath never to give a nigga a garlic tablet. You're going to give him laser surgery. Say, I got hemorrhoids. I say, well, you go to naturopath. You say, take these garlics for 3-4 days. Sit in a tub. Shit'll go away. You go to the brother man who's the doctor. He took the Hippocratic oath. He said, looks like we need this $1,600 laser surgery shit. And he can't give you garlic. $3.99 a bottle. That's the problem with oath takers. I had a disagreement with Brother Khaled the other night because I've been putting so much pressure on the oath takers. I hurt little Malik Zulu Shabaz's feelings. But when you doing counterintelligence, you don't have no friends. You do like this. That's the only way it'll work. If you don't go it like that, it ain't gonna never work. I'm gonna tell you that again. If you don't have it, it's gonna be your woman. It's gonna be your man. In the early stages of your life, it's your mama and your daddy. We're talking about the agents of social control that make niggas behave in fear of white retaliation. See, you don't need no intelligence community to do that. And there is an intelligence community. That's the real deal. Intentions, free South Africa. Oh, I got this wrong. I'm sitting there messing up my own stuff. Now I'd have killed my own students. Y'all let me stand up here and write the wrong thing down. This is the way it's supposed to go. I plus C equal T. That's the way it really go. Intentions plus capability equal threat. Free South Africa. Ain't got no plane ticket. 0. That's the intelligence. So they look up, they say, well, damn, you hear that nigga talking shit? Say, don't worry, he ain't got nothing to work with. Now that's how they work. That's called a probability scale. Write that shit down. That's the bottom line on intelligence. So the nation may be a 1 in 10. The NAACP may be a 1 in 100. The Urban League may be 1 in 1,000. How do you decide where do you send your spies based upon the highest level of probability? You understand that? Coin Intelpro don't say that. Because that's given in intelligence. This is a version of an overt program, but it's not the foundation of it. We wiretapped Martin King's phone. This is what we found in Martin King's sex life, Martin King mail intercepts, Martin King attempted suicide allegations, mailing the tapes to Martin King's wife, sending the tapes around to the government. That's how they did something. But it doesn't tell you that Martin King laying up next to Kwame Ture, sitting with the militants. Martin King was as inclusive, a black leader, ain't a nigga alive now as inclusive as Martin King was. I have come to learn that. Martin King sat with the people who he didn't agree with. Ain't a Negro leader around do that now. They only get in preferred sets. Intention plus capability equal threat, the foundation of the American intelligence community. The probability scale, probability is the early warning system. Now, you may say, well, let's see if I can find this. I need to find something for you. And I hate to put this microphone down to do it. But let's see here. Here it is. Let's get straight to what the role of the intelligence community is. See, the FBI doesn't think about fucking Martin. It is to fuck Martin. Say, kill Martin, get Martin. But who says get Martin? Well, the probability scales are turned over to somebody. In the black community, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm all over the black nation. Even them robe-wearing, African-talking blacks. They've been at Felicity's the last couple of weeks in D.C. In D.C., you can talk about anything except for the takeover of the fucking government. They talking about Mars. They got Hansel going to the moon and shit. They all over the motherfucking place as long as they don't fuck with the Capitol. They can get on the radio all damn day and night, but just don't fuck with the Capitol. Don't fuck with the takeover of D.C. until we're finished. Never in the history of American politics have two chairmen of the city council died in office. John Wilson was found hung so Marion Barry could be the mayor, and then this other boy all of a sudden gets a sick degenerate disease and drops dead. Real fast, worked on his ass so fast it had to be toxins from the CIA. Two local D.C. boys who would have resisted the takeover. Only two men who were there from the beginning of the D.C. government besides the intelligence man, Marion Barry. First thing Marion Barry did when he won the office was prove he was an intelligence officer. To get out of jail, he repudiated the black militants. First day in office. And I went all over the cities and I said, look at this. They made him repudiate Leonard Jeffries. They repudiated Coakley. He repudiated Farrakhan. He repudiated Malik Zulu Shabazz at a Ward 3 meeting, white area. Said there'll be no place for these people in my town. Then they said, you know, as an intelligence community, they know that we are the only ethnic group ever to cut itself off from its militants. Right. You ain't seen Newt Gingrich repudiate one motherfucking militia. Would one white conservative man repudiate one bomber? If he did, he'd have no backup. How you gonna go against a world power with no backup? You might not like the militants, but damn, if they fight, set them up to fight. But if you ain't no fighter, you a getter, and you cut yourself off from the fighters, your well will run dry. I know that. I've been to all. The reason I ran off where I've been is to talk to all them niggas who run from me like I'm so into something that I am a product of all that they thought they wanted to be. Been offered more money than they ever seen just to shut the fuck up, not to talk to 13 people. And I understand that. That's all right. The odds are all right, because you know what? The only way you can upset intelligence is to be underestimated. So we can do this on one day. I don't mind. It don't hurt me. I know this tape, that's a word, that's another dangerous thing. You see, You go to these cities, I'll be standing at the airport, somebody beep beep, the bus driver on the little bus going around the airport, he said, "What's up, bro?" So he give me that Bogart, I put that Bogart, "What's up, bro?" And he give me that Bogart back, and I say, "See there? See, they don't know who it is. They can't tell which one's a it. It's just an underground thing." How did the boy Peruvians get up on other boys? They went to underground. Loud music on the front for decoy and underground on the bottom. But we don't even want to get dirty. What's the Secretary of Defense's name? See, y'all scare me and shit.
William Cohen.
Brother, you got to quit giving up the goddamn punchlines. I didn't bring you here to give up no punchlines. Now you know I know you know. Now I can't ask them the question. The question was, who is the Secretary of Defense? And the answer is William Cohen. Who's his wife? A black woman, right?
What?
Yeah, Janet Langhart.
Oh!
Yeah, used to be a newswoman, especially from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. She was on CBS in Chicago, Janet Langhart. And I remember when he was getting sworn in, she was rubbing him. "That's right, baby." Gore was swearing him in, and she was saying, yeah, she was doing the black thing on him. Y'all ever seen Harlem Nights?
Yeah.
Because we got a name for Janet Langhart, and it's called Sunshine. Yeah. That's the counterintelligence program. Now, if you saw the Washington Weekly last week, they had her on the cover and it said, "Make things grow." She ain't even in the story, she just on the cover. That's what Sunshine does, it makes things grow. What did Sunshine do? No, what did she do in Harlem Nights? She pulled the homeboy up to do what?
Give up the money.
Gave up the coochie to throw him down in the bed to take him off the route.
Right.
Okay.
He left his wife.
Left his wife, but the main thing was to pull him off the street, to let the brothers go out and take the stash, right? Okay. Y'all want to whip the intelligence program? How many of y'all willing to take an assignment to sleep with someone you don't want? To take them off the action? Y'all ready? Brother said no. That's what I call the Sediti revolution. We want to revolve, but we don't want to do shit. We don't want to get dirty. We don't even want to go underground. Look, I got pictures of y'all having sex for no reason at all. Don't tell me you won't have it for a reason. Now come on, don't make me pull my tapes out. Y'all ready? Oh, we're mad. See, they don't want the people to hear Brother Coakley. This shit is like cancer. And I'm going to tell you, if I'm lying, the people throw me out of here.
That's right.
But it's too real. This reality is really going to speak. Yes, brother. Yeah, they perpetrating that big time. That's been going on since the 60s. They perpetrating it on TV. As long as we don't fall for it. See, I don't mind. They beat each other upside the head and dog down each other and trash each other up. That's cool. Just as long as we pull back up off of it. That's what's important to us. Okay, let me zoom into something here. Enough of the jokes and shit. Let me get on to some serious work here. Now, one of the things I'm going to do with you before you leave out of here is I'm going to teach you something about network analysis. This is how the intelligence community sits up. Now see, I'm going to tell you something. Somebody tell you they come out of intelligence and they don't come in here and drop you down some format. Drop you down some format. Some ways by which they do things. In fact, maybe I'll move this out of the way. I don't want to be on court.
That's all right.
Okay, format. Most of intelligence is density, actual number of relations, number of persons, number of theoretically possibility persons, possible relations. All that shit in a damn mathematical model.
Okay.
What does that mean? That means that much of intelligence is technical, much more technical and scientific. Even an informant has to go through a computer analysis to come up with their level of reliability. But we're going to go through this about density. How you say reality speaks is person, okay, where we at here? Let me go into the model. Let me find the right one. Say, well, we'll get to this one. I don't want to go here yet. I just want to tell you, we're going to get to that before we get out of here. Because I want you to learn that. And I especially want my brothers to learn it, and sisters here in Baltimore. But I want to go first to the essence of intelligence. And the essence of intelligence makes you understand how intelligence fits in the real world. Real world intelligence says that that might be the CIA. In fact, this is kind of funny. While Maxine Waters and them was upstairs at the Black Caucus speaking against the CIA was downstairs passing out programs.
That's right.
This is what we call now Intelpro. Now don't forget this now. Let me do this again. This is what we call now Intelpro. This is we asked Jesse Jackson, hey, what's your involvement with the Council on Foreign Relations? He says, I've never really been to a meeting, but I spoke at some of them.
That's right.
It's where you hear two contradictory statements at the same time. That's when you know you got intelligence on your hands. And I say intelligence rather than CIA, FBI, United Way, ADL, because they all work on the same format. Pardon me? The what kind of inspector? They do what they told. They like the FBI crime lab. They'll cock up anything they need at any time they want it. At least now in this lifetime, you getting to hear Hunky say, fuck, we ain't never been worried about no facts. You want this nigga? Shit, yeah, shit say that. The key thing, I ain't heard no one say, I'm gonna bust some shit up for you big time. The biggest thing that the FBI lab did was convict that boy in Atlanta all in murders. They said that the fibers on that, but ain't one single person brought back up the fact that the FBI lab cleaned his ass beyond reason. He's supposed to be driving a car with a child in his hand, throws the child out the window while the car is moving, throws it so far out the window they throws it over the ledge of a bridge and down in the water while he's driving. He's driving with one hand. He throws the person out the window, out and over the bridge with one hand. That's what they needed to do to convict him.
He's a little guy.
But look at what they did to Richard Jewell to get the people to keep going to the Olympics. That's why if you let a motherfucker stand up and tell you some shit about me, don't wait 10 years to find out they was liars.
That's right.
So Richard Jewell, he's a hunky. They give him money. Sit your ass down. Okay, we use your ass. Shit is over. Shut up. So intelligence sometimes says bad shit just to make economics work. Economics was more important than the sister's death.
That's right.
When I was down in Atlanta, they kept associating that Freaknik was coming up at the same time as the Oklahoma bombing. And I warned them kids, you know what we did? And I'll show you the flyers. We put flyers all out down and said, look, hunkies, fuck with one of these blacks and we gonna come on your ass up through Stone Mountain. You will never forget the 80,000 of us that went up there looking for you. I'm gonna show you another Operation Cool Down. 300,000 people in the middle of New York. Winnie Mandela's about to come up and speak. A strange note shows up, don't even know from where to this day. Winnie Mandela cannot speak. With 300,000 people there to back her up, they stand there and hold her hand up in the public and put it down. And have some strange man read some shit off a paper saying that was her speech. But these supposed to be the baddest blacks you ever had. But 300,000 ain't enough to back up a sister. And then Mandela over there giving amnesty to every hunky, kill Steve Biko. So how you gonna give amnesty to the murderers of Biko and lock your ex-wife up for speaking in America? That's now Intelpro. So what the CIA is, the FBI is, the Army, Navy, Air Force, intelligence is, they're no more than griffins. You know what a griffin is, don't you? Excuse me. I wish I had something to be setting this on. A griffin is a guardian animal. A griffin is a guardian animal. No different than this. What is this? Cargos. Y'all seen them?
On TV.
Huh? Oh, no, you don't have to do that, Bob. I'll be all right. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be all right. No problem. I appreciate you. This is a list of gargoyles. They hang on where?
The building.
They hang on the edge of buildings. What do?
Protect the building.
They even got a cartoon that implicate the children. They have psych-ops. The children, psychological operations they have put on the children to let them accept. One day I saw the gargoyles, somebody sent me a tape. The gargoyles, they watched some shit good enough, they made them Illuminati. What kind of stuff is this? So we're going to look up, and you got to know that intelligence is no more than a guardian animal. It's not the main man. The intelligence community is not the main man. If I had to have you want to plan a counterattack, I would want you to know who were the blockers, but remember who got the ball.
Oh yeah.
Check?
Check.
So don't fall for the... We're looking at the layer of that which protects what we're after. Check?
Check.
Okay? You with me there?
Yes, sir.
This is a Grecian Sphinx. Does it look a little like the gargoyle?
Oh yeah.
Look a little like the griffin? They all perform the same function. They're a guardian animal. Intelligence is a guardian animal. What does a guardian animal do? That's right. But do they guard good things? No. They perform a dual role, not merely acting as guardians, but also symbolizing the dangerous aspect of the thing they guard, or in the case of sacred buildings, of the power of the presence within. Guardians of the threshold must be overcome before the sacred realm can be entered. That's what Martin King was saying before they killed him. You can read into there. Treasures and entrances of temples, churches, and other sacred places are guarded by dragons, lions, winged bulls, serpents, scorpion men, gargoyles, a great variety of fearsome creatures, all indicating the dangers of leaving one known state to confront the unknown and the esoteric. The dragon, the serpent, or Naga is the most usual guardian. As such, is generally depicted as guarding the most dangerous of all things, the tree of knowledge.
Check.
So if Brother Coakley is a standalone in the history of his race, and the guardian animal said, no, don't go near that, you would understand where knowledge fits in their role. Fabulous monsters have their own specialized functions. The griffin, or being the bird of gold, naturally guards the gold mines. The sphinx guards esoteric knowledge, and the eagle watches over the entranceway to the two gates. And that's why when we even go through the Boule stuff, we talk about why the Masons are a double-headed eagle. Because if you know what an eagle does as a guardian animal, you know he got to watch how many gates? So how many heads does he need? Because one is east and one is west. Now, what about military intelligence? Oh, here, let's go. This is a Grecian Sphinx. Female Sphinx, a Greek tradition, has its origins in a fairy tale motif. The Sphinx was often winged, always female, a demon lurking on the side of the road, challenging travelers to solve her riddle and devouring all those who could not. This is just that's the thing I use for the boule. But I wanted to let you know that when we had went to pick up what was going on at military intelligence, all we found was what we found with the boule. That sits outside the headquarters of Army Intelligence. That's a guardian animal. They straight up tell you just what the hell they are and what they do. Guard something that's higher than themselves. So now, if we kill tomorrow the perpetrators of, who are still living, of Coin Intelpro, would the principals be dead? No. We would only have taken the layer off. Because one thing we know about intelligence is like what they say on this one here. Said a guardian animal is always out front. That's how you know. That's why I said an early warning system. Paul Revere, the scout. What the man do? Said, Scout, you go up in there, tell us what you see. This shit looks clear, we'll advance. You understand that? So, says the insignia of military intelligence corps, the Sphinx at the Shield Center, has been associated with U.S. military intelligence since 1923. That's interesting that U.S. intelligence got it in 23, because the black men took it in 1904. But they all knew what they were doing. Now, if the top black people agree to be no more than a guardian animal for the top white people, what is the destiny of the race? They don't have one. Thank you. Their race is, their goal is to sacrifice themselves on behalf of what they love more. That's why y'all loyalty scare me. Oh, persecution is worse than that. When it's over, it's over. When they kick the niggas in the oven, they won't know the difference. It'll be over. The Greed niggas, WOL niggas, Baltimore Oriole niggas, Raven niggas, all of them burn just alike. At that point, it'll be too late. Now, when you got a dog, what do you put on a dog's neck? And what's on the dog's collar? There you go, Baba. You don't put the dog's name. The damn dog tag don't say Rover. It say Mr. and Mrs. Kirk Smoke, 3211. Kiss white folks ass drive. And when we learned about the Rhodes Scholars, we had to take it to him. We ain't gonna learn about the Rhodes Scholars and say, ooh, look, there's Kurt Smoke. Say, hey, let's go see his ass. I mean, I didn't want to get into all the history with that. That's another story. But look what's around this damn dog's neck. His owner's logo. What's his owner's logo? Circle. A circle. With another circle inside of it. Now, if you walked up on that dog, if you knew something about secret societies, you'd know who that dog belonged to. But if you didn't know the code, if you didn't know that, and I use this evidence as 2 ex-CIA officers. See, it be scaring me. People be on the radio all day and don't know basic things, because then when they perpetrate, they end up falsely perpetrating. Say this book here, you need to get this book, CIA and the Cult of Intelligence. The main thing is that these 2 ex-CIA men described that the principal constituent of the CIA was the CFR. Council on Foreign Relations. But the thing to the Council on Foreign Relations is that it is an extension of a secret society. That's formula is a circle within a circle. That's why when you look inside the Boule logo, what do you see? What do you see in that urn? I mean, maybe you don't see it. Can you see it, bro? All right, because I don't know if they can see it or not. All right. Now, is the urn open? Paul's doing what? Covering it. So the paw or the guardian animal is protecting something that's in the urn. And in the urn is a circle within a circle. I mean, it wouldn't make no sense till you looked over at this other damn dog and saw one on his neck too. U.S. Army Intelligence Center, Fort Huachoka. Sitting right out front. Meaning, intelligence is nothing but a guardian animal. This is another look at Fort Huachoka. Looks busy. Looks like they can listen to phone calls on 1010 in Baltimore.